You are standing right now in the center of a vast, invisible field of energy, although you may not see it with your physical eyes. Most people walk through their lives believing that the universe is a mysterious and chaotic place that sometimes blesses them and sometimes punishes them without reason. They think they are at the mercy of luck or fate or the whims of a distant God who decides to grant favors based on a lottery system. But I am here to tell you that this is the greatest illusion of the human experience. It is the primary reason why you feel stuck and why your prayers seem to bounce off the ceiling. The universe is not a lottery, and it is not a tyrant. The universe is a mirror. It is a gigantic cosmic mirror that is absolutely precise and absolutely obedient. It listens, it observes, and it reflects back exactly what you say, think, and feel. It is not waiting to be impressed by your suffering. It is not moved by your tears of desperation. It is moved only by your truth, by your clarity, and by your faith. The first step to commanding your destiny is to stop fighting the reflection and start changing the image you are projecting. We must dismantle the victim mindset that has infected the consciousness of humanity. You have been trained to believe that life happens to you. You wake up and look at the news, or your bank account, or your relationships, and you react. You say, "Look at this mess. Look at what they did to me. Look at how unfair this is." You believe that the events of your life are external forces crashing into your world. But the metaphysical truth is that life does not happen to you. Life happens through you. You are the projector, and the world is the screen. If you do not like the movie that is playing on the screen of your life, it is useless to run up to the screen and try to scrub off the images. You cannot change the movie by fighting the screen. You must go back to the projection booth, which is your own mind, and change the film. The mirror of the universe is neutral. It does not judge you. It does not say you are a bad person, so I will give you poverty. It simply says, you are vibrating at the frequency of poverty, so I will reflect poverty back to you. If you stand before a physical mirror and frown, the mirror will not reach out and smile at you to make you feel better. It will show you a frowning face until you decide to smile. The universe works exactly the same way. It is waiting for you to initiate the change. This brings us to the most critical understanding of how this mirror operates. It does not just reflect your conscious words, it reflects your dominant vibration. You might be saying positive affirmations for 5 minutes in the morning, but if you spend the rest of the 16 waking hours in a state of worry and complaint, the mirror reflects the worry. The universe is always listening, not just to what you say, but to what you mean. This leads us to the most powerful metaphor you will ever learn regarding manifestation. I want you to imagine that the universe is a waiter in a fine restaurant. This waiter is completely attentive. He is standing right next to your table with his pen and pad ready to take your order. He has no opinion on what you should eat. He is there simply to serve. Now, imagine you are the customer and you pick up the menu of life. This menu contains everything: infinite wealth, radiant health, beautiful relationships, but also poverty, sickness, and loneliness. Everything is available. Most people look at the menu and they start a monologue of confusion. They say to the waiter, "I really want the lobster," which represents abundance, "but I am afraid it is too expensive and I probably cannot afford it." Then they look at the soup, which represents a mediocre life, and say, "Well, I guess I could settle for the soup, but I really hate soup." Then they look at the waiter and say, "I don't know, just bring me something good, but don't bring me a large bill." The waiter stands there staring at you. He cannot go to the kitchen, because you have not given him an order. You have given him a complaint. You have given him a worry. You have given him indecision. But you have not given him a command. Eventually, because you refuse to choose, the waiter brings you whatever is left in the kitchen, which is usually the leftovers of other people's choices. And when that plate of cold mediocrity arrives, you look at it and scream at the waiter. You say, "Why did you bring me this? I didn't want this." And the waiter politely replies, "You never told me what you wanted, you only told me what you were afraid of." This is exactly how you have been living your life. You have been sending mixed signals to the cosmic mirror. You say, I want a loving relationship, but in your heart you are screaming men cannot be trusted. You say, I want to be wealthy, but in your subconscious you are whispering rich people are greedy. The universe hears both signals. It hears the desire and the fear. It hears the come here and the go away, and because the universe is precise, it cancels out the request. It delivers exactly what you ordered, which is confusion. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. You cannot be a double-minded customer and expect a 5-star meal. The universe requires a clear, direct order. It responds to clarity. It responds to authority. When you waver, you stop the flow. When you doubt, you smudge the mirror. The illusion that you are waiting on God is what keeps you paralyzed. You are sitting at the table waiting for the food to appear, but God is the chef waiting for the ticket. The kitchen is fully stocked. The divine substance is inexhaustible. There is no shortage of supply in the spiritual realm. There is only a shortage of demand. You must understand that supply always waits for demand. The electricity in your walls is sitting there waiting. It does not jump out and light up your room by itself. You must make a demand on it by flipping the switch. The cosmic mirror is waiting for you to flip the switch. It is waiting for you to stop begging and start ordering. Begging is the language of someone who does not believe they have a right to be at the table. Ordering is the language of a son or a daughter who knows their inheritance. We must also address the habit of blaming the waiter. When life gets hard, your first instinct is to look for a villain. You blame the economy, you blame the government, you blame your parents, you blame your ex. But blame is a trap. Blame is simply a way of saying, I am powerless, and someone else controls my destiny. As long as you are blaming, you are a victim. And a victim cannot be a master. A victim cannot command the mirror. The moment you take radical responsibility for your reflection is the moment you become free. You must look at your life right now, your bank account, your health, your house, and say, I ordered this. Maybe I ordered it unconsciously, maybe I ordered it through fear, but I ordered it. And because I ordered it, I have the power to change the order. This is not about guilt. Guilt is a useless emotion. This is about empowerment. If you created the mess, you can create the miracle. The mirror is ready to reflect a new image the moment you decide to project one. The waiter is still standing there. He has not left your table. He is patient. He has nowhere else to go because his only job is to serve you. He is holding his pen. He is waiting for you to stop complaining about the prices and stop worrying about the calories and stop looking at what the other tables are eating. He is waiting for you to look him in the eye and speak with the authority of a creator. He is waiting for the 5 words that will send him running to the kitchen to prepare your feast. But before you can speak those words, you must accept that the delay in your life was not caused by a slow kitchen. It was caused by an indecisive customer. You have been wavering. You have been changing your mind. You ordered the success and then called back 5 minutes later to cancel it with your doubt. Today that ends. Today we stop the confusion. Today we look at the mirror and we do not flinch. We accept that the universe is listening to every heartbeat and every whisper. We accept that we are the operators of this great machine. The illusion of separation is over. You are not a tiny being struggling against a giant universe. You are the focal point where the universe becomes conscious of itself. You are the one who holds the pen. The menu is in your hands and it is time to order. The great illusion is shattered. The moment you realize that the reflection creates nothing, it only reveals what you have created. So stand tall, clear your throat, and prepare to speak because the waiter is ready and the kitchen is open. The waiter is still standing there. He has not left your table. He is patient. He has nowhere else to go because his only job is to serve you. He is holding his pen. He is waiting for you to stop complaining about the prices and stop worrying about the calories and stop looking at what the other tables are eating. He is waiting for you to look him in the eye and speak with the authority of a creator. He is waiting for the 5 words that will send him running to the kitchen to prepare your feast. But before you can speak those words, you must accept that the delay in your life was not caused by a slow kitchen. It was caused by an indecisive customer. You have been wavering. You have been changing your mind. You ordered the success and then called back 5 minutes later to cancel it with your doubt. Today that ends. Today we stop the confusion. Today we look at the mirror and we do not flinch. We accept that the universe is listening to every heartbeat and every whisper. We accept that we are the operators of this great machine. The illusion of separation is over. You are not a tiny being struggling against a giant universe. You are the focal point where the universe becomes conscious of itself. You are the one who holds the pen. The menu is in your hands and it is time to order. The great illusion is shattered the moment you realize that the reflection creates nothing, it only reveals what you have created. So stand tall, clear your throat, and prepare to speak, because the waiter is ready and the kitchen is open. Let me give you a modern metaphor to make this crystal clear. Imagine you are shopping online. You find the item you want. You put it in your cart. You enter your payment details, and you click the button that says Place Order. A few seconds later, you see a screen that says, "Thank you, your order is confirmed." Now, what do? Do you pace the floor, wringing your hands, shouting, "Where is it?" Do you call the company every 5 minutes crying and begging them to send it? Do you doubt that the item even exists? No, you relax. You go about your day. You might even tell your friend, "Hey, I bought a new dress," even though the dress is not yet in your closet. You speak of it as a done deal. Why? Because you trust the system. You trust that the confirmation screen is the guarantee of delivery. You know that there is a process of logistics happening in the background that you cannot see, but you have faith that it is working. The item is legally yours the moment you click that button. The delivery is just a matter of logistics. The phrase, "It is already done now," is your spiritual confirmation screen. It is your receipt from the universe. When you speak it, you are acknowledging that the transaction is complete in the spiritual realm. The supply has met the demand. The fact that you do not see it yet with your physical eyes is irrelevant. That is just the shipping delay. The logistics of the universe are moving mountains and shifting circumstances to bring it to your door. But here is where most people cancel their own orders. They click the button, and then 5 minutes later, they look at the empty doorstep and say it didn't work. They let their senses dictate their faith. They look at the lack and they start speaking about the lack. They say, "I guess it wasn't meant to be." This is metaphysical madness. It is like calling the warehouse and screaming, "Cancel the shipment," and the universe obediently cancels it. You must hold the conviction of the order. You must abide in the state of, "It is done." This concept is the heart of all true spiritual power. It is the secret that the great masters and mystics have known for centuries. Before they call, I will answer. Did you hear that? Before you even articulate the need, the supply is already present. The solution predates the problem. The answer is older than the question. This means that if you have a desire in your heart, it is proof that the fulfillment of that desire already exists. You could not desire it if it were not real. Your desire is simply the shadow of the reality approaching you. So when you say it is already done, now you are not lying to yourself. You are speaking the ultimate truth. You are acknowledging the pre-existence of your good. You are aligning with the divine design that has planned for your abundance before you were even born. I want you to feel the relief that comes with these words. Say them again in your mind. It is already done now. Do you feel that heavy burden lifting off your shoulders? That burden is the weight of trying to make things happen. It is the weight of the struggle. When you realize it is already done, you stop struggling and you start receiving. You stop chasing and you start attracting. There is a peace that passes all understanding when you stand in the finished kingdom. You realize that you do not have to manipulate people or force doors open or lose sleep worrying. You just have to walk into the room that has been prepared for you. The table is set. The feast is ready. The only thing missing was your acceptance. We need to be very strict about the word now. The power is in the now. Many of you are addicted to the past or obsessed with the future. You replay your old mistakes or you rehearse your future fears, but God is not in your past and God is not in your future. The only place you can ever contact the divine power is in this immediate breath. The eternal now is the only point of power. If you are not claiming your good now, you are not claiming it at all. Postponed faith is not faith, it is just a socially acceptable form of doubt. You must be bold enough to claim your healing now, even while the pain is there. You must be bold enough to claim your wealth now, even while the bank account is low. This is not delusion, this is dominion. You are decreeing that the spiritual truth is more real than the physical fact. And as you hold that decree, the physical fact must yield. It must dissolve and reassemble itself to match the spiritual pattern you are holding. So, from this moment forward, I want you to banish the future tense from your spiritual vocabulary. Do not say, I hope it gets better. Say, it is healed now. Do not say, I wish I had money. Say, my supply is here now. Do not say, I want to find love. Say, love surrounds me now. Do not tolerate the waiting game any longer. The universe has been waiting for you to stop acting like a victim of time and start acting like a master of the moment. You are the one who sets the clock. If you say it will take 10 years, it will take 10 years. If you say it is already done now, the universe will rush to confirm your word. The waiter is writing down your order. Do not tell him to bring it someday. Tell him to bring it now. The kitchen is ready. The chef is waiting. The ingredients are prepared. The only thing left is for you to stop looking at the empty table and start celebrating the feast that is on its way. It is already done now. This is your mantra. This is your shield. This is your sword. Use it and watch the walls of delay come crumbling down. We must now move deeper into the mechanics of how this cosmic mirror operates, because the greatest misunderstanding among seekers of truth is the definition of faith itself. Most of you have been taught that faith is an emotion. You think it is a feeling of excitement or a sensation of goosebumps or a temporary high you get after listening to a motivational speech. You think that if you do not feel excited, you do not have faith. But I am here to correct this dangerous error. Faith is not an emotion, faith is a substance. It is a spiritual law as real and as rigid as the law of gravity, electricity. The scripture says, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Notice the word substance. It is concrete. It is the invisible raw material that the universe uses to build your visible life. If you were building a house, you would need wood and bricks and concrete. You cannot build a house out of feelings. In the same way, you are building your destiny, and the raw material is your faith. When you understand that faith is a substance, you realize that you can have it even when your knees are knocking with fear. You can have it even when your heart is breaking. Because faith is not about how you feel, it is about where you place your trust and what orders you are issuing to the divine mind. To make this absolutely clear and practical, let us return to the metaphor of the online order, because this is exactly how the divine order functions in the metaphysical realm. Imagine for a moment that the universe is the ultimate Amazon warehouse. It contains every possible variation of your life. It has the version of you that is healthy, the version of you that is wealthy, the version of you that is loved, and the version of you that is peaceful. All these items are in stock. They are sitting on the shelves of the fourth dimension, waiting for shipment. When you decide what you want, you are essentially browsing the catalog of creation. When you speak the 5 words of power, it is already done now. You are clicking the Buy Now button. You are placing a definitive demand on the universal supply. Now think about what happens when you buy something online. You click the button, you enter your details, and you see the confirmation screen. At that exact moment, the money is deducted from your account and the legal ownership of the item transfers to you. It is yours. It is not yet in your house, it is not yet in your hand, but it is undeniably yours. Now here is the test of faith. What do you do during the 3 or 4 days between the order and the delivery? Do you sit by the window crying, wondering if the company really exists? Do you call customer service every hour screaming, please, send it to me, I beg you? Do you tell your friends, I tried to order it, but I don't think I am good enough to receive it? No, you do none of those things. You go about your life. You go to work. You eat your dinner. You sleep soundly. You trust the logistics. You know that there is a complex system of warehouses and trucks and drivers working behind the scenes to bring that package to your door. You do not need to see the truck to believe in the truck. You rest in the knowing. That resting is the definition of active faith. Faith is the ability to relax while the universe handles the logistics. But look at how you handle your spiritual orders. You declare financial abundance in the morning, which is clicking the buy button. But then by noon, you look at your bank account and you panic. You say, oh no, nothing has changed, this isn't working. Do you realize what you are doing metaphysically? You are hitting the cancel button. Every time you speak doubt after you have spoken a decree, you are sending a cancellation request to the universe. You say, I want this job, and the universe says order received. Then, an hour later you say, but I probably won't get it because the economy is bad. The universe says cancellation received. Then you say, but I really need it. The universe says reordering. Then you say, but what if I fail? The universe says canceling. You are driving the shipping department of heaven crazy. You are a double-minded customer. And because you keep canceling your own orders, nothing ever arrives at your door. You must understand that the universe is obligated to fulfill your last command. If your last command was fear, that is the order that gets processed. This is why you must hold your ground. You must refuse to cancel the order, no matter how long the delivery takes. The delay is not a denial. The delay is just the travel time between the invisible and the visible. This brings us to the critical distinction between begging and decreeing. This is where most religious and spiritual people lose their power. They have been taught to approach the infinite spirit as beggars. They get on their knees and they plead. They say, please God, if you are listening, give me this blessing. I am so unworthy, but I'm asking for a crumb. They think this is humility, but it is actually a form of blasphemy. When you beg, you are insulting the nature of the giver. You are implying that the source of all abundance is stingy and reluctant and needs to be convinced to help you. You are affirming that you are an outsider, separate from the Father. Begging creates a vibration of lack. It screams, I do not have, and I doubt I will receive. And because the mirror reflects your vibration, begging only creates more things to beg for. A king does not beg in his own castle. A child does not beg his loving parents for food. They expect it. They know it is their right. You must shift your identity from the beggar to the commander. Not commanding God as if you are the boss of God, but commanding the substance of the universe to align with the will of God, which is always your highest good. When you decree, it is already done now. You are standing in your spiritual authority. You are acknowledging that the blessing is already yours by divine right. A decree is a statement of fact, not a request for a favor. When a judge signs a decree, it becomes law. When you sign your decree with your faith, it becomes your reality. You must stop saying, I hope, and start saying, I thank. Gratitude is the ultimate form of receivership. You thank the universe before the package arrives because you trust the sender. Let us go deeper into this substance called faith. It is like a cement mold. Your mind creates the mold and the universal substance pours into it to harden into your reality. If your mold is shaped like poverty, the universe fills it with poverty. If your mold is shaped like fear, the universe fills it with fearful circumstances. The substance does not care what shape the mold is, it just fills it. When you spend your day worrying, you are meticulously building a mold of disaster. You are using your imagination, which is the scissors of the mind, to cut out pictures of failure, and then you are surprised when those pictures manifest. You must smash the old molds. You must stop rehearsing the worst-case scenarios. You must stop telling your sad story to anyone who will listen. Every time you tell your story of lack, you are pouring fresh cement into the mold of lack. You are solidifying the very thing you want to escape. Instead, you must become the architect of the new design. You must build a mold of success and health and love using the bricks of your words. When you say, "It is already done now," you are setting the mold. You are telling the universe, "This is the shape I expect you to fill." And then, you must walk away and let it harden. You must not poke at it with doubt. You must not check it every 5 minutes to see if it is ready. You must trust the divine chemistry. The danger of canceling your order is that you often do it right before the delivery truck pulls up. You give up 5 minutes before the miracle. You stop believing on the verge of the breakthrough. The spiritual path is a path of endurance. It is about holding the vibration of the wish fulfilled, even when the world tells you it is impossible. You must treat your negative thoughts like spam emails. When you get a spam email telling you that you won a lottery, or that you are in trouble, you do not reply to it. You do not argue with it. You simply delete it. When a thought comes into your mind saying you are not good enough, or it is too late, delete it. Do not entertain it. Do not invite it to tea. Delete it and replace it with the order. Reaffirm the order. Say, "No, I have placed my order for abundance, and I am expecting delivery. I refuse to accept this package of fear." Return to sender. You have the right to refuse any shipment that does not match your divine blueprint. If sickness shows up, refuse it. Say, "This is not what I ordered. My order is health." If poverty shows up, refuse it. Say, "This is a mistake. My order is prosperity." Stand firm at the door of your mind and be a strict gatekeeper. The universe is efficient. It does not waste movement. If there is a delay, it is because there is a faster or better route being calculated, or because you are being prepared to handle the weight of the blessing. Do not mistake preparation for rejection. If the online order takes a week instead of a day, it might be because they are upgrading you to a better product for free. Trust the timing, trust the logistics, and above all, trust the order you placed. You have spoken the words. You have clicked the button. The transaction is complete in the high heavens. The angels have been dispatched. The resources have been allocated. The people have been summoned. The entire machinery of creation is moving in your direction. Do not stop it with your fear. Do not block it with your doubt. Stand on your porch with the light on and wait with excitement. It is coming. It is yours. It is already done now. Before we move into the next phase, where I explain why things often get messy before they get better, I want to invite you to seal your order with this community. You are not walking this path alone. If you are ready to stop canceling your blessings and start receiving them, take a moment to subscribe to the channel. By subscribing, you are telling the universe that you are a student of the light. Leave a like on this video to raise its vibration, and in the comments below, simply write, "I have placed my order." That is your act of faith today. Now, let us discover what happens when the chaos begins. Now that you have placed your order and you are standing in faith, refusing to cancel it, there is a phenomenon you must be prepared for. This is the stage where 90% of people give up. This is the stage where the spiritual warrior is separated from the spiritual tourist. It is called chemicalization. It sounds like a scientific term, and in a way it is. In chemistry, when you mix an acid and an alkali, there is a reaction. There is fizzing and heat and bubbling. It looks chaotic. It looks like an explosion. But eventually the reaction settles and you are left with a new stable substance called salt. This same process happens in your spiritual life. When you introduce the high vibration of spiritual truth into the low vibration of your old subconscious programming, there is going to be a reaction. There is going to be a clash. The old thoughts and the new thoughts cannot occupy the same space, so the old thoughts must be violently evicted. This process of eviction often looks like chaos in your external world. You might say, it is already done now regarding your finances, and suddenly your car breaks down or you get an unexpected bill. You might affirm perfect health, and suddenly you get the flu. You might declare peace in your home, and suddenly your family starts arguing. The uneducated mind looks at this and screams, "This isn't working. I must be doing it wrong." But the spiritual master looks at this and smiles. The master says, "Ah, the chemicalization has begun. The medicine is working. The universe is rearranging the furniture. You must understand that this chaos is not a sign of failure, it is a sign of aggressive restructuring. Imagine you have a glass of water that has been sitting on a shelf for years. There is a thick layer of mud settled at the bottom. As long as the glass sits still, the water looks clear on top, but the mud is still there waiting. Now imagine you take a spoon, which is your affirmation, and you start stirring the water vigorously. What happens? The mud swirls up. The water turns brown and dirty. It looks much worse than it did before. If you stop now, you will say stirring made it worse. But you are not making it dirty, you are cleaning it. You are forcing the sediment to the surface so it can be skimmed off. Your life is that glass. You have layers of fear and doubt and old karma settled in your subconscious. When you start pouring in the pure water of truth, it stirs up the old sediment. The chaos you see is simply your old negativity leaving your system. It is the dust being kicked up during the renovation. You cannot remodel a house without making a mess first. You have to tear down the old walls and rip up the old carpet before you can install the marble floors. Do not judge the renovation by the demolition phase. If you walk into a house during demolition, you might think the house is being destroyed, but the architect knows it is being prepared for greatness. You are in the demolition phase. Do not panic. Do not stop the work. Let the dust settle and keep building. Let me tell you a story that perfectly illustrates this law. It is a story about a woman who came to see me in a state of absolute despair. She was drowning in debt. She owed money to everyone, the banks, her friends, even her landlord. She felt like a prisoner in her own life. She had been praying for relief, but things were only getting tighter. She told me, "I have tried everything and nothing works. God has forgotten me." I looked at her and saw the panic in her eyes. I told her, "God has not forgotten you, but you have been blocking the solution with your fear." I gave her the 5 words. I told her to go home, and every time she thought about her debt, she was to say, "It is already done now, my supply is here." I told her to stop talking about her lack, to stop telling her friends how broke she was, to stop looking at the bills with terror and start looking at them with gratitude for the services she had received. She agreed to try. She went home and started the work. For the first 3 days, she felt a shift. She felt lighter. But on the 4th day, disaster struck. Her landlord called and threatened eviction if she didn't pay by the end of the week. Then her car broke down and needed expensive repairs. Then she lost a small freelance client. She came back to me in tears. She said, "You lied to me. I did what you said and everything fell apart. It got worse, not better." I smiled calmly and said, "It didn't fall apart. It fell together." The chemicalization is pushing the issue to a head so it can be resolved once and for all. You are shaking the bottle and the cork is about to pop. I told her to stand her ground. I told her to look at the eviction threat and say, "I have a divinely provided home and I cannot be moved." I told her to look at the broken car and say, I travel under divine protection and my vehicle is maintained by grace. It took every ounce of courage she had, but she did it. She refused to accept the appearance of disaster. 2 days later, on the very day the rent was due, she received a phone call from a relative she hadn't spoken to in 10 years. This relative was settling an old family estate and discovered that there was a sum of money left to this woman that no one knew about. It wasn't a fortune, but it was exactly enough to pay off her debts, her rent, and fix her car with a little left over. The money had been sitting there for years, but it couldn't reach her until she broke the vibration of lack. The chaos of the car breaking down and the landlord threatening her was the pressure needed to finally break the dam. If those things hadn't happened, she might not have been home to answer that phone call. The universe used the trouble to position her for the blessing. She realized that the breakdown was actually the breakthrough in disguise. This is what you must remember when the storm hits. The storm is not your enemy. The storm is the delivery system. Sometimes, the universe has to wreck your plans to save your destiny. Sometimes, you have to lose the job that is draining your soul so you can be forced to find the career that fulfills your purpose. Sometimes the relationship has to end so you can find the person who actually values you. Do not cling to the old structure when the universe is trying to give you a palace. The chemicalization is painful only because you resist it. If you relax into it, if you say, let the mud rise so I can clean it, then the process becomes faster. The more you fight the chaos, the longer it lasts. You must adopt an attitude of non-resistance. You must look at the trouble and say, none of these things move me. I know who I am, and I know what I ordered. Think of a seed planted in the ground. For the seed to grow, it must completely destroy itself. The shell must crack open. The insides must spill out into the dirt. If the seed could talk, it would scream, I am dying, I am falling apart. But it is not dying, it is becoming a tree. You are that seed. The cracking open feels like destruction, but it is actually expansion. You are outgrowing your old shell. The shell of just enough is breaking, so the tree of more than enough can grow. Do not try to tape the shell back together. Let it break. Let the old you die. The version of you that was scared and small and broke has to die, so the version of you that is powerful and abundant can live. This phase requires nerves of steel. It requires you to be a spiritual stoic. When the bill comes, do not react. When the bad news comes, do not react. Reaction keeps you in the cycle. Response moves you forward. Your response should always be, it is already done now. This implies that even this trouble is part of the finished plan. It means that even this setback is a setup. God is the great economist. He wastes nothing. He uses the dirt to grow the flower. He uses the betrayal to teach you independence. He uses the loss to teach you detachment. Everything is fuel for your fire if you know how to burn it. But if you let the water dampen your wood, you will freeze. Keep your fire burning. Keep your words hot. There is a beautiful peace that comes on the other side of chemicalization. The water clears, the mud is gone, and suddenly things start clicking into place with effortless ease. The phone starts ringing with good news. The money starts flowing. The health returns. And you look back at the chaos, and you say, thank God I didn't give up. Thank God I didn't cancel the order when the road got bumpy. You realize that the turbulence was just the plane climbing through the clouds to reach the cruising altitude where the sun always shines. You are climbing right now. The shaking is just the atmosphere resisting your elevation. Do not lower your altitude to stop the shaking. Keep climbing. Push through the cloud layer. Break through the resistance. The smooth air is waiting for you just a few feet higher. So my instruction to you for this phase is simple. Put on your spiritual seatbelt and enjoy the ride. Do not take the chaos personally. It is not a punishment, it is a process. When you see the trouble, say, welcome chemicalization. I see you are working hard to clear my path. Treat it like a cleaning crew that is making a lot of noise. You don't fire the cleaning crew for being loud, you thank them for making the house clean. Thank your problems for leaving. Wave goodbye to your limitations as they explode. Stand in the center of the storm and be the eye of the storm. Calm, still, knowing you are the commander, and the commander does not flinch when the cannon fires. He knows the victory is already secured. The battle is just a formality. The war is over, and you have won. It is already done now. Hold that line, and the chaos will dissolve into the most beautiful order you have ever seen. We have cleared the debris of the past, and we have weathered the storm of chemicalization, but now we must establish a new way of living, because a decree is not a magic trick you perform. Once it is a lifestyle you embody. You cannot simply say the 5 words of power in the morning, and then return to living like a victim for the rest of the day. The universe is not fooled by a moment of piety. It is moved by a momentum of consistency. To maintain the vibration of, it is already done, now, you must master the art of self-government. You must become the ruler of your own mental and physical kingdom. I am going to give you the 3 keys to this mastery. These are the practical tools that will keep your vibration high when the world tries to drag it down. These are the disciplines that separate the wishful thinkers from the manifestors. The first key is the discipline of the watchman, or what I call guarding the inner dialogue. You would be amazed and horrified if you could hear a recording of your own thoughts throughout the day. Most people sabotage their own declarations within the first hour of waking up. You stand in front of the mirror and say, I am abundant and wealthy, but then you walk into the kitchen and see a bill on the counter and your mind immediately screams, I don't know how I am going to pay this. That is what I call spiritual backpedaling. The moment you speak doubt, you revoke your decree. It is like sending an angel out on an important errand and then yelling, wait, come back, I didn't mean it. You are confusing your own energy field. You are building a wall with your words and then tearing it down with your thoughts. You must understand that every thought is a vibration that seeks to materialize itself. You cannot afford the luxury of a negative thought. This does not mean you must be perfect, but it means you must be vigilant. You must watch your inner dialogue like a hawk watches its prey. You must stand at the gate of your mind and demand a password from every thought that tries to enter. If a thought of fear comes knocking you, ask it, do you align with my decree that it is already done? If the answer is no, you do not let it in. You do not negotiate with it. You do not entertain it. You evict it immediately. When you catch yourself thinking negative thoughts, do not beat yourself up because guilt is just another form of fear. Instead, simply correct the thought on the spot. If you catch yourself saying, I am so tired of this struggle, stop right there and say cancel, cancel. Then immediately replace it with the truth. Say, no, I am energized by my success. It is already done now. You must do this 100 times a day if necessary. You are retraining a wild animal. Your mind is used to running wild into the dark forest of worry. You are putting a leash on it and gently but firmly guiding it back to the path of light. This is the work. People ask me for the secret to success, and I tell them the secret is that I do not let my mind finish a negative sentence. I cut it off, I starve the doubt, and I feed the faith. Eventually, your mind will get the message. It will realize that you are the master and it is the servant. It will stop offering you fear because it knows you will not buy it. The second key is the law of embodiment, or what is commonly called acting as if. You cannot just say it, you must live it. If you believe it is already done now, then you must start walking like it is done. You must start talking like it is done. You must start acting like the person who already possesses the good you desire. This is where many people fail. They want the new life, but they keep the old habits. You cannot put new wine into old wineskins. If you are believing for financial abundance, you cannot walk around with your shoulders slumped, looking at the ground, feeling sorry for yourself. That is the posture of poverty. You must walk with the spine of a wealthy person. You must carry yourself with dignity and calm confidence. This does not mean you go out and spend money you do not have. That is foolishness. It means you handle what you do have with the energy of abundance. When you pay a bill, do not pay it with resentment. Do not look at the money leaving your account and feel a pang of loss. That pang of loss tells the universe that you believe in shortage. Instead, bless the bill. Say, thank you that I have the money to pay this. Thank you for the service this money provided. When you circulate money with joy, you open the channel for more to come back. You are telling the universe, I trust the flow. If you are believing for love, stop acting desperate. Desperation is the most effective repellent for romance. Stop checking your phone every 2 minutes. Stop waiting to be chosen. Choose yourself. Love yourself the way you wish to be loved. Prepare your home for the partner you are calling in. Clean out a drawer for them. Buy an extra coffee mug. Sleep on one side of the bed. These seem like small physical acts, but they are powerful metaphysical statements. You are creating a vacuum that the universe must fill. You are setting the stage for the play you want to star in. If you are believing for health, stop talking about your sickness. Stop rehearsing your symptoms to your friends. Stop Googling your disease. Start doing the things a healthy person would do, even if you have to do them slowly. Dress up. Put on your best clothes. When you look good, you feel better, and your cells respond to that feeling. You are signaling to your subconscious mind that the healing has already occurred. You are wearing the costume of your future until it becomes your skin. You are not faking faith, you are embodying it. You are training your nervous system to tolerate the voltage of your new reality. The third key is the magnetic seal of radical gratitude. This is the highest frequency a human being can generate. Most people think gratitude is a reaction to something good happening. They wait for the gift, and then they say thank you. That is reactive gratitude, but the master practices proactive gratitude. Radical gratitude means thanking the universe for the things you haven't even received yet physically. When you say thank you for my answered prayer before you see the answer, you are performing the ultimate act of faith. You are telling the universe, I trust your timing, and I trust your promise so much that I am going to celebrate in advance. Think about it. If someone you completely trusted promised to give you $1 million tomorrow, you would be celebrating today. You wouldn't wait to see the cash. The promise would be enough. Do you trust the infinite spirit less than you trust a human friend? When you give thanks in advance, you seal your declaration with joy. It sends a signal that says no need to rush, I already know it is mine. And let us talk about joy, because joy is the engine of manifestation. The universe loves a cheerful believer. Joy is magnetic. It draws people and opportunities to you. Worry repels them. You cannot be worried and grateful at the same time. They are opposite vibrations. If you are worrying, it is proof that you are not grateful. If you are grateful, it is proof that you are not worried. So whenever you feel the grip of fear tightening on your chest, use gratitude as the breaker. Stop and find 3 things to be grateful for right now. Thank the air in your lungs. Thank the chair you are sitting on. Thank the vision in your mind. And then thank the universe for the specific desire you are manifesting. Say thank you that my rent is paid. Thank you that my body is healed. Thank you that my child is safe. Say it until you feel the smile return to your face. That smile is the bridge. It connects you to the source. These 3 keys, guarding, acting, and gratitude, form a trinity of power. When you use them together, you become invincible. You are guarding your mind so no poison gets in. You are acting out your truth so your body aligns with your spirit. And you are sealing it all with gratitude so your vibration stays high. This is how you live the decree. This is how you occupy the state of the wish fulfilled. It requires effort, yes. It requires attention, yes. But what is the alternative? The alternative is to drift back into the fog of confusion and lack. The alternative is to remain a victim of circumstance. You are too powerful for that. You have come too far for that. You have the 5 words. It is already done now. Now you have the keys to lock that truth in place. Practice these keys today. Watch your thoughts. Walk like a king. Thank the universe like a child receiving a gift. And watch how quickly the world transforms around you to match the magnificence of your inner state. You are the master of your fate. You are the captain of your soul. And with these keys in your hand, the doors of destiny have no choice but to swing wide open. We have now reached a level of spiritual maturity where we can discuss the most advanced technique in the art of manifestation, which is the vibration of victory. Most people think that spiritual work is heavy, solemn business. They think they need to furrow their brows and concentrate until their heads hurt to make things happen. They think that faith is a strenuous effort of holding on tightly, but I am here to tell you that the exact opposite is true. The highest form of faith is not tension, it is relaxation. And the highest vibration you can offer to the universe is not desperate pleading, it is laughter. Yes, laughter. You might ask, how can I laugh when I am in debt? Or how can I laugh when I am lonely? That is exactly why you must laugh. Laughter is not just a reaction to something funny, it is a spiritual weapon of mass destruction against fear. When you laugh, you are physically incapable of holding on to worry. Try it. Try to be terrified and laugh genuinely at the same time. You cannot do it. Laughter breaks the hypnosis of the negative. It shatters the calcified walls of fear that you have built around your heart. It is the sound of a soul that has been set free. When you declare, "It is already done now," and then you follow it with a smile or a laugh, you are sealing that decree with the vibration of victory. You are telling the universe, "I am so confident in your delivery that I can afford to be lighthearted. I am so sure that my father is wealthy that I do not need to worry about the price of the meal." This is the energy that attracts miracles. The universe repels heaviness. Have you ever noticed that desperate people rarely get what they want, while happy people seem to stumble into good luck constantly? It is not an accident. It is the law of vibration. Heaviness is a slow, dense vibration that blocks the flow of spirit. Lightness is a fast, fluid vibration that allows spirit to move through you. If you want your life to move, you must move your energy. You must lighten up. You must stop taking your problems so seriously. I know they feel real to you, but in the grand scheme of eternity, they are just shadows. And you do not fight shadows with a sword, you fight them with a light. Laughter is that light. Let us talk about the law of non-resistance. This is a principle that completely contradicts human logic. Human logic says, if you have a problem, fight it. If you have an enemy, attack him. If you have a lack, struggle against it. But spiritual logic says resist, not evil. What you resist persists. Whatever you fight, you are feeding with your energy. If you spend all day fighting your debt, hating your debt, and talking about your debt, you are keeping that debt alive. You are tethering yourself to it with a rope of anger. To be free, you must drop the rope. You must practice non-resistance. This does not mean you become a doormat. It means you stop giving your power to the appearance of evil. You look at the lack and you say, "You do not move me." You look at the diagnosis and you say, "You do not impress me." You look at the obstacle and you laugh because you know it is just a mirage covering your blessing. Water is the most powerful element on earth because it is completely non-resistant. It flows. If it meets a rock, it does not argue with the rock. It does not try to smash the rock. It simply flows around it, over it, or under it. And eventually the water wears the rock down to sand. You must be like water. When a challenge appears, do not stiffen up. Do not brace for impact. Flow. Say to the situation, "I flow past you to my good." This attitude of fluid trust is what allows the universe to navigate you through the tightest spots. When you are tense, you are brittle and you can be broken. When you are fluid, you are flexible and you are unbreakable. The laughter I am talking about is the sound of that fluidity. It is the sound of someone who knows the game is rigged in their favor. Now we must address a very subtle trap that catches even the most advanced students, and that is the trap of the disguised blessing. When you issue the command, It is already done. Now you have a specific picture in your mind of what that looks like. You imagine the money coming as a lottery win. You imagine the love coming as a tall, dark stranger bumping into you at a coffee shop. You imagine the healing coming as an instant miracle. And because you are so fixated on the packaging, you often miss the gift. The universe does not deliver based on your preference. It delivers based on your purpose and the path of least resistance. Sometimes, your good comes in through the back door while you are staring at the front door. For example, you might declare financial abundance and the next day you get fired from your job. Your ego screams disaster. Your fear screams failure. You say, I declared abundance, and look, I lost my income. But the spiritual eye sees the truth. The job you lost was the cap on your income. It was the thing holding you back from your true potential. The universe had to remove the small container so it could give you the ocean. If you react with fear and anger, you delay the next step. But if you react with non-resistance, if you laugh and say thank you for closing this door so I can walk through the bigger one, then you move instantly into the new opportunity. Maybe the abundance comes not as a check, but as an idea. An idea for a business or a solution to a problem. Most people throw the idea away because it looks like work. They wanted magic, but the universe gave them a seed. If you plant the seed, it will grow into the magic. You must be wise enough to recognize the blessing in its work clothes. Sometimes you ask for peace, and the universe sends you a difficult person. You think this is a mistake, but it is not. The difficult person is the gym equipment for your spiritual muscles. You cannot learn peace in a vacuum. You learn peace by staying calm in the midst of chaos. The universe is delivering exactly what you need to become the person who possesses peace. Do not reject the lesson. Do not reject the package just because the wrapping paper is ugly. Inside that ugly wrapping paper is the diamond of your destiny. There is a story of a man who prayed to be rescued from a flood. A boat came and he said, "No, God will save me." A helicopter came and he said, "No, God will save me." He drowned and went to heaven and asked God, "Why didn't you save me?" God said, "I sent a boat and a helicopter. What more did you want? Do not be like that man. Do not dictate to the universe how to do its job. Your job is the what. The universe's job is the how. When you declare, it is already done, now you must be open to the infinite ways that done can look. Maybe the relationship you wanted ends. That feels like a loss. But it is actually a gain because that person was not in vibrational alignment with your new level of self-love. The universe is clearing the deck. This is why I tell you to laugh when things go wrong. Laugh because you know it is just a plot twist in a movie that ends happily. Laugh because you know the director knows what he is doing. When you can stand in the middle of the wreckage of your old life and smile, you have passed the final test. You have proven that your faith is not dependent on sunny weather. You have proven that you are a master of the inner state. Let me give you a technique for raising your vibration instantly. It is called the pivot of praise. Whenever you feel the heaviness of resistance settling on your shoulders, whenever you feel the urge to complain, stop and pivot. Find the most ridiculous, smallest thing to praise. Praise the fact that your socks match. Praise the fact that you have running water. Praise the fact that the sun came up without your help. It sounds silly, but it breaks the pattern. It interrupts the neural pathway of negativity. And once you start praising, you will find more things to praise. And as you praise, your vibration rises. And as your vibration rises, you become visible to your good. The universe cannot see you when you are hiding in the low frequency of complaint. You are invisible to your blessings. But when you praise and laugh, you light up like a flare on a dark night. The delivery truck can find you. The miracle can land. So, my friend, I challenge you today to take yourself less seriously. Take your problems less seriously. I am not saying your pain is not real. I am saying your power is greater. Do not give your problems the respect of your fear. Give them the disrespect of your laughter. Treat your obstacles like small annoying gnats, not like giant monsters. Swat them away with a smile. Say, is that all you got? I have the power of the universe backing me. What can you possibly do to me? When you walk with this kind of swagger, this kind of holy arrogance, the Red Sea parts. The walls of Jericho fall down, not because you pushed them, but because you shouted with joy. The shout of victory comes before the victory. The laughter comes before the breakthrough. So practice this. When you wake up tomorrow and the world tries to hand you a heavy burden, refuse to take it. Say no, thank you. I am traveling light today. I have placed my order. I have received my confirmation. It is already done now. And because it is done, I am going to enjoy the wait. I am going to dance while I wait. I am going to sing while I wait. I am going to laugh while I wait. Because the waiting is not an empty time, it is a holy time. It is the time where my character is catching up to my calling. Be the happy warrior. Be the joyful commander. And watch how the universe falls in love with your energy and pours out a blessing so big that you won't have room enough to receive it. This is the vibration of victory. Wear it well. We have arrived at the summit of this journey together. We started in the fog of the great illusion, where the universe seemed like a random chaotic place, and you felt like a victim of circumstance. We moved through the realization that the universe is a cosmic mirror, reflecting your own vibration back to you. We equipped you with the 5 words of power. It is already done now, which allow you to shift from the timeline of waiting to the timeline of receiving. We navigated the stormy waters of chemicalization, understanding that the chaos is just the restructuring of your reality. We gave you the keys of guarding your mind, acting as if, and radical gratitude. And we raised your vibration through the power of laughter and non-resistance. Now we stand at the threshold of your new life. This is not merely the end of a video or the conclusion of a lecture. This is the final seal. In ancient times, a king would place his seal in hot wax to make a decree unbreakable. Today, we seal these truths into the substance of your soul with the fire of the Spirit. You are no longer the wanderer looking for a path. You are the architect building the path. You are no longer the beggar pleading for a crumb. You are no longer the co-creator sitting at the table of the king. It is time to awaken the co-creator within you. You must understand that God, the infinite intelligence, does not work for you. He works through you. You are the hands and feet of the divine. You are the inlet and the outlet of divine activity. When you wait for God to do it all, you are denying your role in the partnership. When you try to do it all yourself, you are denying the power of the partner. The co-creator knows that he is a channel for infinite power. You are not a tiny isolated being struggling against a giant hostile world. You are a focal point where the universe becomes conscious of itself. You have the power to name your world. In the ancient scriptures, it is said that God brought the animals to Adam to see what he would name them. Whatever Adam named them, that is what they were. This is a metaphysical truth about your life. The universe brings you circumstances and asks you, what do you name this? If you name it disaster, it becomes a disaster. If you name it opportunity, it becomes an opportunity. If you name it failure, it becomes a lesson. You have the power of the name. You have the power of the decree. You have the power of the 5 words. I want you to leave this session with a spine of steel. I want you to walk out into your world, not as a person hoping for the best, but as a person commanding the best. You must realize that your life is not written in stone. It is written in water. It is fluid. It is waiting for the shape of your belief. Every morning, when you wake up, you are standing before a blank canvas. Most people pick up the brush of yesterday and paint the same old picture of worry and lack. But you are different now. You have the knowledge. You have the tools. You pick up the brush of the eternal now, and you paint a masterpiece of abundance and joy. You say to the morning, I name you blessed. You say to the problem, I name you solved. You say to the fear, I name you powerless. This is the stance of the co-creator. But with this power comes a sacred responsibility. You can no longer plead ignorance. You can no longer play the victim card. You know the law. And the law is impersonal. It works for everyone who works it. If you go back to sleep now, if you go back to your old complaints and your old doubts, you cannot blame the universe. The door is unlocked. I have put the key in your hand. If you choose to stay in the prison cell, that is your choice. But I do not believe you will make that choice. I believe that something in you has shifted. I believe that the sleeper has awakened. I believe that you are ready to take your rightful place as the director of your own movie. Let us seal this word. A seal is a mark of ownership and authenticity. We are going to place a seal on your subconscious mind so that the doubts of the world cannot penetrate it. That seal is the conviction that it is already done now. You must carry this conviction like a shield. When the news tells you the economy is crashing, you raise your shield and say, "My supply comes from the kingdom, not the economy." When the doctor gives you a bad report, you raise your shield and say, "My body is the temple of the living God, and it is restored." When your bank account looks empty, you raise your shield and say, "My father owns the cattle on 1,000 hills and my inheritance is secure." This shield protects your vibration. It keeps your mirror clean. It keeps your order active. And now I have a commission for you. This is your call to action, not just for this video, but for your life. If this message has unlocked something in your soul, if you feel the chains of fear falling off, if you feel the fog lifting and the path appearing, then you must make a move. Faith requires a container. You must build a vessel for this new energy. I invite you to make this channel your spiritual home. This is not just a YouTube channel, this is a sanctuary for the awakened. This is a university for the soul. If you want to stay in this high vibration, you need to surround yourself with this truth daily. Do not let the world drag you back down. Subscribe to the channel right now. By clicking that button, you are not just following a creator, you are making a statement to the universe that you are prioritizing your spiritual growth. You are saying, "I am a student of the light." I also want you to leave your mark. Do not be a passive consumer of this truth. Be an active participant. Go to the comments section and write your decree. Write "It is already done now." When you write it down, you are grounding the energy. You are making a public declaration. You are telling the witness of the universe that you stand by your word. Read the comments of others and encourage them. When you bless others, you are blessed. Create a vortex of positive energy in that comment section. Let it be a place where miracles are normalized, and share this light. There are people in your life who are drowning in the fog. There are friends and family members who are stuck in the victim mindset. Do not preach to them, do not argue with them, simply share this video. Give them the key. Be the lighthouse for someone else. You never know whose life you might save by sharing a simple message of hope. The law of circulation says that what you give away, you keep. If you give hope, you keep hope. If you give truth, you become truth. As we part ways for now, remember that you are never alone. The infinite spirit is closer to you than your own breath. The angels of abundance are encamped around you. The universe is conspiring in your favor. But you are the captain. You must give the order. Do not waver. Do not falter. Do not look back at the burning city of your past. Look forward to the glorious city of your future. It is waiting for you. It is built by your faith and furnished by your joy. Go forth and occupy it. Go forth and be the miracle you have been waiting for. Tomorrow morning, when your feet hit the floor, do not ask what will happen today. Tell the day what will happen. Say to the mirror, "I am the beloved of the universe, and today I receive my good." Say it until you believe it. Say it until you see it. The cosmic mirror is polished and ready. The waiter is standing with his pen. The kitchen is fully stocked. The order has been placed. The logistics are in motion. The chemicalization is clearing. The victory is secured. There is nothing left to worry about. There is nothing left to fear. There is only the joy of the harvest. Walk in that joy, live in that power, and never ever forget the 5 words that changed everything. It is already done now. It is done. It is done. If this message has been the key you were looking for, do not let it be a one-time event. Make this channel your spiritual home. Subscribe to this channel and join the thousands of co-creators who are waking up. We are building a sanctuary of truth here, and your presence makes it stronger. If you know someone who is still stuck in the fog of begging and struggling, be their lighthouse. Share this video with them. You might just save a destiny today. Go forth, use the 5 words, and remember, the waiter is waiting, the kitchen is open, it is done.